Hey guys, so I have been wanting to do some medical videos on my channel for quite a while now, and my webcam has been broken, and then I've just not got around to it, because I want to do good ones, because I'm a nurse and I like helping people, but these videos are not intended to diagnose or give any type of treatment or advice. You should always contact your physician with questions, or if you're having some type of emergency, obviously you need to go to the emergency room or call 911. There's my little disclaimer. So this video is how to check your blood glucose or blood sugar. And I'm trying to do this really quick because I'm doing this on YouCam, and even though you can do 15-minute videos on YouTube now, YouCam will still only let you upload a 10-minute video because it's set, I guess it's not aware that you could do 15 minutes now. So the monitor I'm going to be using, or glucometer, is a One Touch Ultra Mini, and I'm not endorsed by them at all. This is my personal glucometer. I have a couple others, but I like this one the best. I check my blood sugar because I actually tend to run really low. I have hypoglycemia, which some doctors just don't think is an actual thing. But basically, this is kind of how they get in the direction of diagnosing diabetes as well. They'll do a 2-hour glucose challenge. So what you do is you fast after midnight. You go to your doctor the next morning, and they check your blood sugar when you're fasting. And typically, the normal blood sugar range is between 70 and 110 milligrams per deciliter. Although some doctors and some labs have different ranges, so that's another thing you should speak with your doctor about what yours should be. And for some people who are diabetic and tend to have really high blood sugars, they will actually sometimes tell them, well, 120 is good, good for you, I guess, because if you're used to your blood sugar being really high all the time, like way higher than normal, if you come down even into that normal range, you can start having like kind of symptoms of hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar. So what my doctor thinks about my particular, I guess, condition or set of circumstances is that my pancreas most likely secretes excessive amounts of insulin. So if someone who was completely normal and myself ate the exact same meal with the same amount of carbs and proteins and sugars and fats, that, my pancreas would secrete extra insulin compared to theirs. So therefore, my blood sugar would drop lower quicker than theirs. And insulin is a hormone that basically it kind of acts like a key. It opens like a doorway in the cells in your body, all of them. And when it opens this doorway, the blood sugar can go in. And glucagon is the exact opposite. If you are running low, blood sugar's low, glucagon is released from the pancreas, and it creates the doorway so that the blood sugar exits the cell into your blood. So anyway, let's get started. So I have my monitor, my strips. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because it looks kind of washed out, but it's going to have a code on there, even though this glucometer is a codeless meter, which means you do not have to code it every time you use it. It'll flash with the code when it first comes on, and you just want to make sure that that matches this bottle. So like when this runs out, I buy a new bottle. If it's 30, then I would just have to adjust this the first time so it'll flash, and when it flashes at 25 and it turned to 30, I'll just hit the up button until it goes to 30, and then it's good until I get another bottle that changes. So I'm going to get out a strip. This side over here with the 3 little black bars, that's the side that will go into the glucometer. So it'll go in right here, face up, if you can see that. The white side is going to go down, and the 3 little bars go in, and then this end piece is where that little white strip is where you're going to put the blood, and it'll just suck it right up in there. So I'm going to wait just a second to put that in. But I'm going to use a Lancet device. This is the one that came with my meter. So just pull off the cap, just a little black cap. There's a little white cylinder in there. So I have a sterile Lancet, and I'm going to stick it right down into that little cylinder. And so you have it sticking up like this. Then you're going to twist this little white cap. Save the cap, because when you're done with the lancet, you'll just stick the needle right in there and you can dispose of it into your sharps container. So I'm going to keep that. And then you're going to take the black lid and stick it right back on and pop it. Then there's various numbers here, from 1 to 9. 1 is the most shallow stick. It's barely going to stick you. I don't think I've ever had a patient that I could stick them with something this shallow and it actually draw blood. 9 would be for someone with really tough skin, calluses on their fingers. You know, maybe they are construction workers, use their hands a lot, have calluses. I play instruments, so my fingers are a little tough. So I usually do mine on about 7. So I got mine on 7. To arm this device, you're just going to pull this little handle down, and you'll hear it click, and that pulls the needle down. There's a little button right here underneath the number that you'll push, and that's what will eject the needle to poke you, and then it'll go back in. So let me see if I can do this real quick. So remember, the code on the bottle was 25. So I'm just going to stick this right in there. See, it pops up 25, so we know we're good. And then it's going to show that little blood symbol. Alright, so I'm going to take an alcohol wipe, and I'm going to do my middle finger. If you do the side, you have slightly less nerve endings there, and it's not going to hurt as bad, and it probably won't be sore, or it will not be as sore. Let it dry. This is armed already. So hold it up to the side of your finger where you wiped it, then push your button, and it popped me. So then what you want to do not squeeze the finger really hard right at the site, because it will actually burst the cells. It can damage the cells in the finger, and so when you damage the cells, if you crush them, the sugar comes out and goes into the capillaries, and you're testing your capillary blood right here. So that can give you a false high reading for your sugar. So you actually want to milk the arm and milk down into the finger and just like barely squeeze. So you can see a little bit of blood came up, but you actually want to take some gauze and wipe that first drop off, because the alcohol on the skin can actually create false readings. I'm going to milk the arm again. Some people bleed really easy, and you may not have to do that. My hands are kind of cold right now. So I get my little drop of blood again. You can see that. Oh. And put this right up to it, and it's just going to suck the blood up. And it's going to do a little countdown. And then my reading is 103. So I just ate, like, maybe an hour ago. Maybe slightly more. And obviously, if any one of you have ever watched any of my videos, I drink Mountain Dew all the time. See it behind me. That's normal. 70 to 110. Some places will say 70 to 100. But it's always going to spike after a meal. And then, you know, 2 hours later, it should be back down to normal. Or it should be below 140 after 2 hours. So I'm just going to take this out, just pull it right out. The glucometer will just go off, so you can put it back in your little case. I put these in a sharps container because it is biohazard. It's blood. I don't know if they if it's okay to put it in the trash, although I'm sure everybody does. And some people say Band-Aid, but I'm already like not bleeding at all. And I guess if you need a Band-Aid, use Band-Aid. So I'm going to pull this out. And, you know, I said to keep the little white cap. Well, it was originally like this. So the cap was on it like this. But you're actually going to turn it around and just stick it right into the lid of the cap, the needle. So now you can't poke yourself with a needle. Somebody else can poke you. Then you're going to put this in your sharps container. Put this back on, and you are good to go. Now, some people use their lancets over and over again, which you should not do, but that's up to you, I guess. If you're going to do that, definitely do not share your supplies with anyone, which I'm sure anyone who does this knows. But seriously, you can get all kinds of free lancets online. Just search like free lancets on Google. I got a whole box the other day. A whole box. Tons of them. Had nothing to do with me being a nurse. Did not pay at all for them. So it's best not to, because the needles will become blunt and like bend, and it can cause damage, and like little pieces can break off inside of you. But anyway, I gotta go. Got 7 seconds. So I hope this helped, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.